Hello and welcome back to another episode of Factorio Launch Per Second. I think we're up to number 4 now. And yeah, I haven't actually done anything more with the factory in between times, but I have noticed one slightly, well, interesting little fact, and that is this is the iron line, and it's bare. So iron supplying two purple steel lines plus sufficient iron for here and whatever other processes we have going on at the moment, because we may still do. I don't know if those modules are still building or not. I guess we'll find out soon enough. If I run up here, see if we're still getting modules being built. Probably not. They tend to build fairly quickly, these sorts of things. Whoops, it's pretty hard to run against that. Actually, they've completely stopped. How many have we got? We don't have 1,000 yet. That's very interesting. What are we missing? Silver zinc batteries. We ran out of silver zinc batteries. I admit to being slightly surprised. So what are we out of? Silver oxide. What's that missing? That is missing silver nitrate, nitrogen dioxide. Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough. So what's happened here is confusing. So that has empty gas bottles. Nitrogen dioxide. We only have one oxygen and we need 2. Yes, well I know that. What is the problem? We have a whole bunch of hydrogen that we're trying to evacuate, as we do here. And why isn't it working though? Got empty gas bottles. We're possibly not connected properly here. So, alright. Let's just do a little rework there, shall we? Move that over one. We're going to fill hydrogen bottles. We'll pick up all of this stuff and that. And yeah, lay them down again. That's what happens when you do things fast sometimes. And let me know if I went through that whole process of building this chain too fast, or just the right speed, or you know, any comment you might have in regard to the process. If you thought, or even if I did it too slow, I'm more than willing to heed some advice. I just thought, really, given that it's just a same process you could potentially see in any playthrough, you might be, and yes, now we're working. It's amazing that it managed to get that far before it fell over. You could potentially see that same process in any number of Let's Plays, and really I want to concentrate on the bits that involve being able to launch once per second rather than just standard processes. We're going to have to build things because that's the nature of the game. We want to have a stock to enable us to get on with things, but we don't necessarily want to spend too long dwelling on just standard builds for such things. So right, it's not actually the reason that I was giving you before. We ran out because we were dipsticks and we didn't plug this back in. So that's only a green line. Hopefully that's sufficient. It looks like it looks like we might need a balancer, but other than that, and it would be a good thing to note as to whether I'm not doing this little trick that gives us a compression on the iron yet. Maybe it's worth doing that. How often are these ones firing? It doesn't seem like it's that often. So perhaps I've got slightly more iron than I have steel. Not sure why I did that, but yeah, it's not quite fully compressed there. So what I'm going to do is I'll break it here. Look how quickly it's drying up. So it is being used pretty quickly. I'll break it here. I will put in a underground belt from here all the way through to here, which we can... Oh, it's not quite what I had in mind, actually. We'll sort this out shortly. It is working fine. It doesn't really matter that that's sort of connecting. It's just if any additional gap happens there, it might throw an extra one out that way. But now you can see we've got better compression. Although we're actually getting less action from these ones. I probably have too many actually. We can probably lose sort of these 3 and would be fine. How does that look when you get down here? Now that we've improved the compression, it's not so bad and it's caught up. Well, okay. So we can definitely feed 2 steel lines and still have iron flowing. I'm only feeding a green line. And it looks like the green line is at basically full compression. We're still firing rockets off, so yeah. That's all good then. Now these things, I would have thought these had finished. Have they not? We've got 32 in there, 35 in there, 67, and oops, 32 in there, 99, and there should be one sitting here, which there isn't because it's waiting on iron pipe. Oh, okay, so we'll build one in here and then we'll have 100. But that's not really a big deal. Okay, so yeah, before I noticed that and had a minor heart attack thinking that we had an iron problem, I had a quick look at the modules, the non-God modules. So this is Bob's modules. It's a lot more complicated to put together than standard vanilla, if you're unfamiliar. So in a way you kind of deserve the significant boosts that you get, but you know, maybe they also go a little bit far as well. With God Module 5's giving you productivity of plus 50%, the best standard productivities, that's 40%. Actually, what's the difference between that? Raw productivity plus 40%, and that, is that just a different formula? Yes. It looks like it is. There's 2 formulas for those raw these raw modules. So, green module gives you energy consumption. I don't really care about dropping pollution, to be perfectly honest. So speed, we can get 160% with no increase in energy consumption, which would probably be what we're after. Or plus 160% and plus 120%. We can probably do the effectivity that way. 120%. So as I understand it, with the beacons you actually only get effectively half the effect, I think. So that would be like 60% reduction unless we use 2, or we could go to... Is there an 80? No, there's no 80. 120. We could probably put an 8 and a 3 in to get 160 to get our maximum of 80% reduction. Maybe I should just build one of these modules and see. So that would be the equivalent to a vanilla beacon. So time 15 seconds, that's 30, and that's 45. Okay. Well, these have 2 slots in them basically. I'm guessing that has 3 and that has 4. I've never built a beacon in Bob's Mods yet, so I'm not entirely sure. But if we were to put that there, okay, so at the moment energy consumption is 1.2. I would assume we can't put God modules in there because that would be insane. Good, we can't. So, what I want to see is if I can build how much benefit we get from effectivity and from speed modules. Probably going to have to build a whole chain to do that. The other thing that I want to do is I want to do some buffering. So, I mean, if you notice this process, it's basically like a train arriving and leaving a station, in that you have all this action and then you have a long period of silence and you have all this action again. So why don't we buffer up all of these products so that we get the full benefit of stack inserter bonus, which we do coming out of these machines anyway, but these machines are only, like, there's 5 in there, 4, 5, so 10, 10, 10. So I mean, if we had steel chests between these items and here, we could have basically well, I've got 3 and this takes 1,000 if you look at it. Each one of these parts takes 10, and you need 100 to get to it. Then that makes 1%. So you need 10 by 100 or 1,000, in fact, of these units to get each percent. And it looks like we actually have the rocket control units as the slow factor here, which is interesting. So yeah, it's buffered to 10. If we had it a steel chest, well, in fact, we'd have 9 steel chests, so they could have basically 100, a stack of 100 of these things sitting in them, which is, in fact, we don't even need steel chests because a stack of 100. Oh, actually, I don't know what the stack's to. But we probably don't actually need steel chests. We could probably do it with iron chests. If we had a stack of 100 of these units in 9 iron chests between here and here, so we need to move this out by 2, and did the same with these guys, so we'd need to move this stuff back by 2, and also with this stuff, so we'd really need to move this whole thing down by 2. We could have quite a more effective loading of these machines. I'm not sure that at the moment, actually the crafting speed's only 9. Maybe it's worth building. I'd like to see if these have better range as well as capacity. So maybe I'll quickly. What were we missing? Sorry, electronic boards and processing boards. So all right, let's order those in because I know I build those. We need 200 of them and 200 of them. As soon as they turn up, we will build one of those. It needs a basic. Oh, we don't, because we've got the basic beacon sitting there. That was kind of silly. No, we'll build an extra one. That's fine. And the final one has. Oh, we need gold plate for that one as well. Well, I do have gold plate. I'm not sure if it's in the network though. Whoops. And I really should put some concrete down there as well. Gold plate. This stuff coming out here is gold plate, I do believe. So let's just grab a little bit. Whoops. Player's inventory full. Wow. Okay. I've got a bunch of stuff in here that I don't really need. Whoops. What are we doing? Why are we ordering in silver plate? I don't know. I don't need all of this steel anyway. I don't need all these electric engines. And I don't think I need batteries. Okay. Mark II. Alright, let's have a look at Beacon Mark II. Now that's interesting. It's obviously got a bigger footprint. The effectivity part of it would make no difference whatsoever, but we could potentially increase the speed of these, which would do nothing to the animation, which is the bulk of the time. So all of this that I'm talking about is really only going to trim, you know, part of the 20 seconds or so of the loading and this guy spinning around. And am I right? Oh no, we have 4. Wow. 4 effect sources. Well, that would be plenty. I really don't believe we need more than 4. We have to also be aware that this adds 480 kilowatts, so we're saving on the 1.2 megawatts, we're saving up to 80%, so it would knock it down 960, but we'd lose half of that again by having the Mark II. How much did the Mark 1 use? That's the Mark II. Where's the Mark 1 one gone? Down here. That also uses 480 kilowatts. That's interesting. And after that we didn't get any gold after all. I do believe this is gold plate as well. Should be enough. Alright, let's build one of those. What's the energy consumption? It's also 480. So as far as a pure plan to save energy, it doesn't actually seem like this is such a brilliant one. Would still be using basically 480 plus 240 or 720, which is more than half. More than half of the energy of this would still be generated, so if all we were doing it for is the effectivity, it might not be worth it. Well, it's certainly easier to place if it goes there, because that then covers everything without, you know, changing this design too much. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we could throw speed modules in. I'm just wondering how much a speed module would help. Would it help this at all? I mean, this number gets to 10. I mean, we don't have... It's not filling using all of these, but that's probably limited by the fact that this isn't producing fast enough. I guess what we can do is I might watch what's going on inside this assembly machine during the next launch rather than what's going on in the silo. We might get a bit of a feel for how much difference it might make. If you're wondering about my resource usage with all of these launches that we're just letting go, I don't really care at the moment because I have a large stockpile of too efficient railway bringing me stuff. I've got hundreds of thousands of iron and so on. Yeah, so that machine is not able to keep up build speed. What about this one? Well, again, that's not fast enough. So I'm thinking none of these machines are fast enough, and buffering would definitely speed this up. So those chests are definitely worthwhile, which will mean I'm going to have to pretty much rewire everything. And I know we haven't built a single thing this episode, but I might leave it there and actually no, I'll build some chests. What size chests do we really need? What's that? That's an iron chest. Let's put an iron chest. I think iron chests would be fine, you know. We don't actually need anything more than an iron chest for this. Let's just check these ones as well to see if they're also not keeping up with demand, because that's my belief. They can't. What I mean by keeping up is this would fill up. If the machine is able to go fast enough, see it's pausing while it's waiting, which means this one's actually... This would actually benefit two ways. It would benefit by being buffered with all these resources going into it, and it would probably benefit by having a buffer here as well. Okay. So if we need iron chests, let's just quickly build some iron chests. Some of that. Where's our machine? There. You can build iron chests. Actually, not that it matters, but I'm just thinking of extreme build capability, really. Where are express? And we'll feed that into a passive provider, like we always do. How many of these do we want? Something like that, maybe. You're doing iron chests, and you need some of those. How many have we got? There we go, it's a decent number. So yeah, I think the first thing to do, actually I'm going to cut this off too. I want to see how it manages without this extra supply. take another couple of launches. So we'll just do this couple of launches quickly, see how it manages without the extra supply, see if anything changes in terms of the dynamics of which one is slowest, and then otherwise I'll aim to set up some iron chests around here. Is this dropping? Not yet, but we're running out down below. We still have some. It's not dropping yet. Now we have none. Is that number dropping? Yes, I think it is, which would imply that that is the slowest part of the process. So definitely these ones would definitely need buffering. We may not actually need to buffer all of these, which would help. But yes, I'll do some modifications, and hopefully we'll be able to advance this whole process a little bit more in the next episode. Well, thanks for watching. I know we didn't actually achieve a hell of a lot this episode, but we're doing quite a lot of good analysis, I believe, that will help us in the long run. So yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.